Hi there folks, today we're checking out the BUGAni V5 True Wireless Stereo Earbuds. Let's do this. Hi there folks, and welcome back to Novum Verum. Today we have the BUGAni V5 True Wireless Stereo Earbuds. Now, if you're not familiar with BUGAni just yet, they've only been around for a handful of years, but they've made an impact in the Bluetooth speaker segment of the market, and only in the last few months did they get into the Bluetooth headset game. I did a review on their first on-ear headphones, and those were decent. It wasn't necessarily the greatest, but as a first outing within the Bluetooth headset arena, I think it was pretty decent. Now they have this, their very first earbuds, which I was thoroughly excited to check out, so I had to bring it on board for review. So let's go ahead and crack this baby open, shall we? As we can all see, it's fully heat wrapped here. So let's get that off. There we go. And one thing that I really love about BUGAni is that they will always put some form of secondary seal. So in this case, they also have stickers here. Let's get that off. Ooh. And there she is. All right, pretty standard layout here. Let's take a look at the accessories. I was expecting a box, but it's not. And here we have what is unfortunately a micro USB charging cable. A little behind the times, but all right. And here we have a couple of pairs of earbud tips and a couple of pairs of different sized wing tips, which is great actually. Did not know that it had that. All right. And here is just the user manual. Pretty straightforward, very simple. And there she is. Seems to be some blemishes on here, but it's coming off, so not a huge deal. Very lightweight, but does not feel very premium. The plastic is definitely not the greatest grade. Here on the back we have the charging port, and here on the bottom we have a sticker with the model number, input DC, battery power, and made in China. On the front here we have a bank of 4 LED lights. So pretty simple, straightforward. I just can't get over how low quality this feels. There is quite a bit of give when I'm squeezing it, and it feels like this top lid moves quite a bit. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I can push it back and forth and side to side this way. Anyhow, there they are. I do like that the lid is tight. It doesn't necessarily snap open or lock in place, but it does stay open and closed rather well. I'm not too sure whether this one has a magnet or not. Anyhow, now That's disappointing. I wish there was some sort of sticker or film over these contact points, but they did not do that. These are very light, and again, that low quality plastic seems to have been used throughout. And that is a physical button there. I was hoping it would be touch, but apparently not. Oh well. First impressions aren't the greatest, but there you have it, folks. The BUGANi V5. I'm gonna go ahead, charge this baby up, connect it to my phone, and we will take it for a test drive. Thanks, folks. Give me a moment.
All right, folks, here we are doing the audio test for the BUGANi V5, which I have on, as you guys can see. And the audio you're hearing now is being picked up through the microphones on these. Now, I've only had these for about 2 weeks, and I've been using them for the past 5 days consistently. I have not used any other earbuds during that time. And I have to say that it has been a very painful experience. It was just very frustrating. First off, as with all earbuds, you would think that as soon as you take them out of the case, they would go into pairing mode. Unfortunately, these ones did not. I have to constantly put them into pairing mode manually. Obviously, this is a huge annoyance. And then the next issue that I had was that these would not pair together and show up on my phone as a single device. They would always show up as two individual devices. What's even more frustrating is the fact that they would show up as the same. So they would show up as BUGANi V5. I've had situations where earbuds would show up as two separate devices, but they would say left and right. These are the exact same. So having experienced this before, I thought that maybe this was how it was meant to be. And I decided to like try to use them as two separate devices. But what I discovered was that audio would only come out through whichever earbud was the last to connect, whether it's the left or the right. But what's silly on top of that is the fact that I could use the controls on either earbud to manipulate whatever is happening on the earbud that that had audio coming through it. So if I'm playing music and it was coming through the right earbud, I could go to the previous track on the left earbud. But then when I do that, the audio would switch over to the left earbud, and vice versa. Anything that I do, whichever was the last control that I touched, that's where the audio would come out. I tried a whole bunch of different troubleshooting methods to try to get them to connect together, and occasionally, as in this particular time, as an example, they finally paired together. And the way it would say it's like left connected, right connected. You'll actually hear a voice say that on the earbuds, showing that they've connected as one device and they only show up on my phone as a single device. But this is a constant thing that I've had to contend with. So I'm sure that if I put these back to the case and then pull them out and try to reconnect them, I would still have the same issue. I've had to deal with this multiple times. But when they finally do work together, it's like any other earbud at that point. Um, let's talk about the audio performance when we step outside and do the outdoor portion of this test. Here we go. Whoop, try to level this out. Alrighty, stepping out. So obviously, my frustrations and my issues with these earbuds did not stop there. Um, Sound quality is okay. It's very middling. It has a very hard time dealing with the highs. I found everything gets kind of garbled and harsh. Um, it doesn't necessarily blend very well with everything else. The bass, again, is also mediocre. It's there, it's present, but it's, how would I say it? It's rather dull. So it doesn't necessarily give you that immersive experience that I'm always looking for, anyways. Connectivity is also poor. I hope this will demonstrate this because any little obstruction would affect the audio and the connection. So I remember having my phone in my pocket, and every time I would have a phone conversation, and then let's say I just put my hands in my pocket and I'm covering the phone a little bit more, the connection dissipates. Like it's interfered. So any sort of um, obstruction will affect the connection. Um, and it could be it could be again something as simple as me putting my hand over my phone and the connection becomes intermittent, or you'll hear a fluctuation in my voice. It's very annoying. I've had an opportunity to use these in two phone conversations, and both times I was cut off, or some sort of issue would come up where I honestly felt bad for having the conversation with my friends over using these, um, because they would constantly like, what did you say? Can you repeat yourself? Um, Take off the Bluetooth because I can't understand you. There's distortions, there's warbling, again, volume fluctuations, just so much stuff. Not to mention ambient sound filters into the conversation as well. So yeah, not a great experience whatsoever. I don't know what else to say. All I have are complaints with these. So yeah, I guess you guys know exactly what my conclusion would be. So I'm gonna stop it right here. I'm gonna head home, check my audio, and be back with my postmortem. Thanks, guys. Good morning.
All right, folks, it's postmortem time for the BUGAni V5 True Wireless Stereo Earbuds. And I think we all know it's going to be a hard pass for me. Honestly, this is one of the most disappointing earbuds I've tested to date, and that is including all of the generic brands I've tried out. Doubly disappointing because it is coming from BUGAni, which is a brand I'm rather familiar with. You know, they came onto the Amazon marketplace with their Bluetooth speakers, and in each model they came out with, they made certain improvements: better drivers, better water resistance and dust proofing and whatnot. Each one was better than the last, and I really loved that. It gave me the impression that this brand cared. So when they came out with their on-ear headphones, the BUGAni E8, I thought that they were actually pretty good first outing. It wasn't the greatest by any means. Sound quality was okay, and it still had physical buttons, unfortunately, and also the build quality needed a lot of work. Regardless, I thought that it was a decent first outing. So when they came out with the V5, I was expecting a lot more. Unfortunately, I was thoroughly disappointed. The sound quality is mediocre at best, and as we all saw and heard during the audio test, call quality is extremely poor. Then comes the build quality and craftsmanship. What do I mean by craftsmanship? Well, things should fit together like puzzle pieces, right? Well, check this out. Those are the earbuds moving around in there, and they shouldn't be doing that. They should be tightly in place because of the magnets. Unfortunately, that's not the case with these. How I discovered this was rather annoying. So as per usual in the morning, I took them out of their case and popped them on. Then I looked at my phone and saw that the right earbud was only at 10% power, and I'm like wondering why. since they've been in the case overnight while the case was charging. So obviously there was something amiss. And lo and behold, I figured out that even though they clicked in place when I put them back into the case, the contact points for the charger weren't actually in line. So one was getting charged while the other wasn't. Then there's all the other issues like connection and pairing. Had a hell of a time trying to get these two paired together as one device before pairing to my phone, and it was just a huge and constant headache. Honestly, the only good things I found with these was one, the packaging, and two, the fit. It is customizable and I was able to get a nice solid fit with these. So in that regard, they did pretty well, but overall, these are a poor set of earbuds. I would not recommend them whatsoever. Now to the price. So I did purchase this on Amazon. At the time of purchase, regular price is $29.99 Canadian. And at the time of purchase, there was a $10 coupon, so I got it for $20 plus taxes, which for me came out to $22.59 Canadian. I would not wish this on anyone. In fact, looking back, I know the other budget earbuds that I've tested out that were $20 and under, they were all a lot better than these. And now they're just at their regular price at $29.99. Please avoid at all costs. These are not worth your time. Anyhow, there you have it, folks. The BUGAni V5. Avoid at all costs. Do not waste your time or money on these. Thank you all once again for watching. As always, I have more products on the way. And if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. You'll have an opportunity to win an Amazon gift card. Thank you once again. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.